The return of rock.
Visitors have been wonderful from Northeast Ohio. And I'll remind everybody, Northeast Ohio is who built the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Your passion, your drive got us built. It continues today.
It's back, baby. Things are really picking back up at Cleveland's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're live there with a backstage tour as part of our Rediscovering Ohio series. It's a stormy start to the weekend. Will things be clearing up? Matt Standridge is keeping an eye on the radar to tell us what we can expect.
I know I'm smiling right now, but it hurt. That was my best friend.
Tragedy at the beach. A Cleveland teacher drowns while saving a friend. Hear from his wife and family about what happened and the legacy he lives behind. And heading home, reports say Kevin Love will not join Team USA basketball in Tokyo. We'll tell you why.
And new wave? The Delta variant of COVID-19 is causing a surge in new cases nationwide. The areas that are putting mask mandates back in place, and when we could see a vaccination for kids. Thanks for staying with us. What's new starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hi, everybody, and happy Friday. I got to say, it's a really happy Friday for me because I get to be live tonight from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right here on the shores of Lake Erie. We are celebrating our Rediscovering Ohio series, so we're going to dive in a little bit into what's new here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. Meanwhile, my partner, Jay Crawford, back holding down the fort. Jay, I hope you get out here at some point because it's such a great place to be able to hang out.
It's one of my favorite places in all of Cleveland. You know I'm jealous because I love the Rock Hall, but I am looking forward to you telling us exactly what's new at the Hall for the summer of 2021.
Yeah, there's a lot to get to, certainly, in that regard. But first, we want to start things off with the latest on the weather. You may have been watching Ellen, heard the tones. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings to tell you about and the potential for flash flooding, too. Matt Standridge is keeping an eye on all of that for us tonight. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Betsy. It's good to see you. It's an active end to the week. I want to take us right to the radar because we do have active severe thunderstorm warnings going on right now. And like Betsy just mentioned, we have a flash flood watch area-wide because, as you know, it's rained so much with some of these thunderstorms the past several days. We've got more rain coming in right now, but it's hard not to notice all the orange towards our south. Holmes County, Wayne County, and then also southwestern portions of Stark County were under severe thunderstorm warning. So far, most of the activity is south of downtown Cleveland, so we'll watch this cluster of thunderstorms as it presses towards the north and east. You're going to get a lot of lightning out of these towards the south. You're also going to get some gusty winds. Gusty winds are, in fact, our primary threat. Here's a little bit closer view of it. The strongest part of the cell is now coming into southwestern Holmes County, and we zoom in a little bit closer. You see this bright green? That's a huge gust of wind, where winds are topping over 60 miles per hour. So Hardy and then up 62 north and east towards Walnut Creek and Sugar Creek. You'll be watching out for some of these gusty winds. The timing on these, they're moving out 35 miles per hour. So New Philadelphia just after 5:30, Jackson right around 6. So we'll continue to watch these severe storms. It's an active evening. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. First at 5, a beloved CMSD and Beachwood coach drowned last night while trying to save a friend struggling to swim. Marzell Pink was on vacation in Myrtle Beach when the incident happened. Jasmine Monroe talked with his wife late this afternoon. Jasmine, good afternoon to you. I'm sure this is an emotional time for her and the family. What did she tell you?
It really is, and she is resilient. Shanae Pink is his wife. They've been together for 6 years, and when you think about it, this is something that is just a tragedy. So to tell us this God is how it's getting her through. Now today, Marzell would have been 50 years old, but Pink was more than just a husband. He was a father, he was a coach and a mentor. He also worked for Cleveland schools for almost 30 years, not to mention a dedicated member of the Cleveland chapter of Omega Psi Phi. Pink died drowning while rescuing someone on vacation with his family in Myrtle Beach. This is a man that many described as a selfless hero, but his memory will live on through his beautiful wife of 6 years and 2 children and soon to be third.
I feel like our time wasn't long enough together. I want to add that he loved us, his family. He always wanted to do more. He always wanted to do more, and I would tell him, like, babe, we're good. God have us. We are good.
She is so resilient. Now, her friends started a GoFundMe account to help his family pay for expenses. The goal was set at $15,000, and they already reached more than $9,000 since Wednesday. Now, donations, of course, you can make your donations. We'll have that posted on WKYC.com. But Jay, family vacation.
Wow. Yeah, it's supposed to be the happiest time of the year, and suddenly tragedy strikes. This is a man who touched countless young lives in his work with the school.
Yeah, I have to say hats off to Omega Sci-Fi because I called them at noon. They got everyone together by 1:30 p.m. to get people to talk about their stories about Marzell. So this is truly incredible. He touched people from Omega Sci-Fi, powerlifting classes, so many people, and truly going to be missed.
Jasmine Monroe live on What's New. Jasmine, thank you. We appreciate it. Well, a rally outside of the Cuyahoga County headquarters today to support the men who are being forced out of the Independence Ramada. This just wrapped up a short while ago. There's some debate over when the 150 homeless men are supposed to leave the hotel. The county says they paid Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries to house 150 men through the end of August. The county officials claim the city of Independence said no and gave them until today to find a different place to live. Of the 150 men who were there, 35 refused to leave. They're saying that's because they're being moved to the shelter on Lakeside in Cleveland, and they say that's as bad as it gets.
From all the filth and everything else, all the other negatives that you've heard, it's a lot of truth in that. You know, we were told one thing, and then all of a sudden, they pull the sheet out from under us.
There are also concerns over lack of vaccinations and coronavirus rates. The county released a statement today saying it's going to expand and improve its services by buying the property next to that shelter on Lakeside. We'll have more on this story coming up at 6 o'clock on What Matters Most. Well, we're now just 1 week away from the start of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. And today comes word that Team USA basketball is going to have to try to win a gold medal without the services of Cavs forward Kevin Love. Sports anchor Nick Camino joins us live now. Nick, good afternoon to you. It appears Love took himself out of the games.
Yeah, he did. First of all, I can't believe we're a week away from the Summer Games. I mean, it's just crazy how fast time flies. Now, with Kevin Love, I think that this comes as a surprise to some people, but quite frankly, I think it was a surprise that he was on the team in the first place. Now, I think that this caught some people off guard today, though, because he had been in Las Vegas for the last 10 days preparing for the Olympics, preparing to go to Tokyo. He played in that exhibition game against Nigeria. But when you think about Kevin Love, he's coming off a difficult season with the Cavs. He's been dealing with that right calf injury, and I just don't think he could shake it. Now, in a statement today, Love said, quote, "I am incredibly disappointed to not be heading to Tokyo with Team USA, but you need to be at absolute peak performance to compete at the Olympic level, and I am just not there yet." So, obviously, he wants to be there. I mean, he was training to be there, Jay. Again, I think it was a little bit of a surprise that he was on the team in the first place. But once he committed and once they committed to him, I think we all kind of thought, hey, all right, he's going to give it a go here. He's going to play. Like I said, he spent 10 days in Las Vegas. So that's why I think today came as a little bit of a surprise because it kind of came out of nowhere. And as we said, we're a week away.
This is beginning to feel like one of the worst calf injuries in the history of sports. I mean, he has been shelved forever with this thing.
He just can't shake it.
No, it's tough.
I mean, he's had the injuries and he's had a disappointing season. And I feel like we're at a point now where it's like, I think there were some Cavs fans that wanted him to go play well in Tokyo so maybe they could shop this big contract that he's got.
Yeah.
Now that's not going to happen.
Yeah, good luck finding a suitor for that. By the way, it was already going to be an uphill climb for Team USA. They lost their first two exhibitions. Their first one to Nigeria. This is a team that's like 57-2 in international play.
It's unbelievable. They lose to Nigeria, and then they lose to Australia.
Right.
Are they going to be lucky to maybe win bronze? I mean, I'm sitting here saying to myself, these are the best players in the world on one team. You got Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant. We mentioned Kevin Love was on that team. I mean, come on. You've got so many great players. You should not be losing to Australia and Nigeria. I got news for you.
No, you really shouldn't. And normally it's a slam dunk for the men to
no
win
pun
gold.
Intended.
No pun intended. This year, you're going to have to watch and win.
Yes.
These games are going to be interesting.
They will.
They
will be.
All right, Nick, thank you very much.
You got it.
Now on your feet at 5, there's a renewed push to make marijuana legal. We told you about this earlier in the week, and that is going on right here in Ohio. And Democrats plan to introduce the legislation As soon as next week, Brandon Simmons joins us now with details on how the laws would change and who would benefit even without buying into the program. Brandon, good afternoon to you. This could be a financial windfall for the state.
Yeah, the state could earn a lot of money off of this through taxation. This is the moment many people have been waiting for. In fact, for the first time, politicians plan to introduce legislation to legalize and regulate the recreational use of marijuana here in Ohio. But it won't be an easy one for them to push through. The proposal will come from Democratic Representatives Casey Weinstein and Terrence Upchurch, both from here in Northeast Ohio. And here are the big details. People 21 and older would be allowed to have up to 5 ounces of marijuana in their possession and be allowed to grow up to 15 marijuana plants for personal use in their homes. Now, it would also set up an application process for those who want to set up shop on the retail side of things. Now, the other big component in this proposal would be that low-level offenders who have been convicted of violating current marijuana possession laws would have clear records going forward.
Nonviolent, small levels of possession, folks who have been convicted of that would have their records sealed and be given an opportunity to fully participate in the labor force again and participate in this market.
Now, as we just talked about, communities also benefit as there will be a 10% excise tax attached to sales that would benefit schools, infrastructure upgrades, and veterans in the community. The current medical marijuana program established in 2016 would also stick around. Now, any legislation that has to do with marijuana will take bipartisan support, which we're seeing more and more of nationwide. I'll have more on the roadblocks that Ohio could face that would stop this legislation coming up on What Matters Most at 6, Jay.
Yeah. Bipartisan support, not something we hear a lot of these days. Brandon, thanks. We'll talk to you soon. New at 5, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine says he has no plans to reinstate a mask mandate here in the Buckeye State. This as cases of the COVID-19 Delta variant continue to climb nationwide. His comments come just a day after Los Angeles County officials reinstated their mask mandate there, even for those who have been vaccinated. The nation's top health officials say the fast-spreading Delta variant and the slowing rate of vaccinations is causing the surge. They also say that 99% of all COVID deaths in the United States are people who have not gotten the vaccine.
There is a clear message that is coming through. This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Just 4 states account for more than 40% of all the cases over the past week. 1 in 5 cases in the U.S. right now are coming from the state of Florida. Today, Pfizer announced the FDA will decide whether to give full approval to its COVID vaccine by January.
Still to come for us this evening, the return of rock. What's new at the Rock Hall as we continue our Rediscovering Ohio series. Plus, something to be happy about. Don't we all need that? How one music star is boosting Black and Latinx entrepreneurs. That's ahead in your pop break. Also, Matt Standridge is keeping a close eye on the radar. We have more severe thunderstorm warnings going on south of Cleveland, Matt.
Hey, Chiefs, good to be with you. Yeah, new severe thunderstorm warning for Tuscarawas County, but Holmes County, portions of Wayne County, portions of Stark County. That's where we have that severe thunderstorm warning threat right now, mainly gusty winds. But there's a lot of lightning, a lot of rain with these storms. There could be some localized flash flooding for a few of us. But right now, some of the strongest storms pushing in to Millersburg. More in that forecast coming up. If you are trying to dine outdoors, maybe not the best time to do it. We're getting a dry pocket right now in downtown Cleveland. That may change. We'll take a wider view of the radar. That's coming up.
Welcome back, everybody. I am so excited to be live this evening from our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on the shores of Lake Erie right here in downtown Cleveland. This, of course, is a part of our Rediscovering Ohio series. And, you know, folks are getting back out. There's quite a buzz happening here in the atrium of the Rock Hall. The social distancing restrictions and masking restrictions are coming down. People are getting out and starting to see what is awesome here in Northeast Ohio. And we're kind of excited to get to remind you of all of that. As a matter of fact, we talked to Rock and Roll CEO Greg Harris, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame CEO Greg Harris, about what is new here at the Rock Hall as folks begin to return.
It's super exciting to have every floor of the building open, to have our plaza with live music.
Visitors are once again lining up to experience Cleveland's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. After months of following safety protocols, all the exhibits are now open.
And the final piece of that puzzle was opening up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's garage. We're standing there right now. This is where visitors play instruments, they jam with each other. It wasn't that long ago when the guys from Metallica were in this room playing with visitors.
Now open 7 days a week with extended hours on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights to meet demand. The exhibits are refreshed with new items like Buddy Guy's guitar, a drum from Public Enemy, and items from Queen and Lynyrd Skynyrd. Tom Petty's outfit. Tom Petty's guitar and outfit are new additions to the greatest show on turf, a celebration of Super Bowl halftime shows. And there are more exhibits in the works for this summer to keep visitors engaged.
There's a Janis Joplin exhibit that we're going to open in August. There's a Jerry Garcia artwork exhibit that's going to open up. Visitors have a few more weeks to see the 2020 induction class exhibit. Then that exhibit's going to come down in September. We'll put in the 2021 class, and that'll be the lead up to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
And that's going to happen right here in Cleveland at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on October 30th. But what really has fans excited is the return of live music.
I'll rearrange the universe like Nicholas Copernicus.
Odds are when you come to the museum, in the afternoons you're going to hear our coolest resident rockers playing out front. If you come down on a Thursday or Friday night, you're going to hear national and regional acts blasting it at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You'll feel the power of rock and roll.
And so it is Friday, and that means there's live music right here at the Rock Hall as part of their summer concert series. Sweet Apple is going to be performing tonight, so if you want to head down and enjoy that. Mike Polk is sitting behind the camera right now. He's going to be up in just a little bit to tell us more about them and the history of rock and roll. Kind of cool. That's coming up at 5:30. In the meantime, I can't help but think that the folks up in the garage who are lucky enough to be up there, can you imagine if Metallica just happened to show up to jam with you in the garage? Like that. It only happens here at the Rock Hall. I guarantee you that. Well, speaking of rocking and rolling, the radar has been rocking and rolling this afternoon. Matt Standridge is keeping an eye on all of that. You know, Matt, my phone keeps going off. I know we've got some more warnings to talk about.
Hey, Chief. Yeah, great to see you. And if you do hear some rumbles, it may not just be the base. It may be some thunderstorms around the area. But right now, the majority of those storms are south of the Turnpike, south towards, just south of Canton, Tuscarawas County, Holmes County, Southern Wayne County. And you do see those bright orange boxes showing you those severe thunderstorm warnings. So let's focus on those for a moment, but then we'll also talk about the storm chances for the rest of the evening area-wide. It's not just going to be the south where we get the rain this evening, but man, it is coming down big time south of Wayne County, right towards Millersburg and Hardy. That's where we're watching some of the heaviest downpours. Some of these rainfall rates too, guys, are between 1 to 2 inches per hour. So we're talking about super heavy rain pushing north and east, lots of lightning strikes too. The main threat with these thunderstorms are just this push of some gusty winds. Sometimes those gusty winds could measure right around 60 miles per hour. Ahead of some of the strongest storms, we also have a lot of downpours. Canton, you're getting the downpours already, but the gusty winds are just towards the south and west. New Philadelphia, we're starting to get some of that rain, but it really picks up towards our west as well. We can look at the radar and we look at velocity where we can see the wind pushing out big time. And right now it just blew through Millersburg and Hardy. This is headed up 62. So Walnut Creek, Sugar Creek, eventually getting towards Stark County. We'll be watching these gusty winds. So we'll be watching that closely for you guys. But man, things are loud towards the south. We're timing these out too. So the winds are pushing about 60 miles per hour, but the actual storms themselves are closer to about 35 miles per hour. So when you're timing these out, I know we're already getting thunderstorms thunderstorms right now for most of Stark County. But for the gusty wind threat, we're talking about Canton right over just after 6 o'clock or so, Alliance closer to 6:30. So things are loud, things are windy towards the south, but when we just zoom out, you see better chances for thunderstorms kind of in southern and eastern Ohio, but we're not done yet. So for example, downtown Cleveland, we're mostly just kind of dealing with the clouds right now. Things are quiet, but we're also watching a couple of thunderstorms, although not as strong, just south of Toledo. So we also have our chance. It may just take another couple hours or so, but we're all under that flash flood watch. That goes until Saturday at 8 o'clock because some of us are going to be picking up another 1 to 3 inches. But specifically tonight, there's a solid 80% chance along 71 and east of 71. The farther west you go, we still have those rain chances. Remember, we just saw that storm near Toledo, but a little bit lower in intensity overall towards our west. Right now, temperatures, they're kind of muggy, right? Temperatures sitting in the 70s and 80s. Overnight tonight will dip into the upper 60s, but you notice more rain chances as we head into the weekend. This is your weekend rain timeline. We'll still be dealing with showers and thunderstorms tomorrow morning, but notice the trend. By Saturday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, things start to quiet down a little bit. I think by Sunday, mostly these things wrap up and then we should be done. But here's your National Zymar hour-by-hour forecast. We're watching the showers and thunderstorms this evening. We'll get some more tomorrow. You're looking at the Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook. I think if you're trying to time out this weekend, Saturday, watch out for more storms, especially in the morning and midday hours. By Sunday, we should be drier. Well, much more of what's next coming up in about 2 minutes.
Oh, don't just blame the Wahlbergers. Marky Mark is bulking up for a movie role. Kiara Cotton has that story and more in today's Pop Break.
Mark Wahlberg is opening up about the toll his body went through while gaining weight for his latest role in the movie Stew. In an interview with Jimmy Fallon, he revealed that at one point he gained at least 20 pounds in 3 weeks.
I had to consume for 2 weeks 7,000 calories and then for another 2 weeks 11,000 calories.
The 50-year-old appears to be back to his normal weight, posting several workout videos on social media. Artist and producer Pharrell Williams is giving a group of Black and Latinx business founders a leg up. Through his nonprofit, Black Black Ambition, which launched last year, Williams and his team awarded 34 finalists with at least $15,000, with the grand prize winner receiving $1 million. But that's not all. The winners also got access to support from a personal mentor and exposure to over 100 investors during a demo day. In a press release, Williams said, "These are the founders I dreamed would represent Black ambition. Today we celebrate their determination, resourcefulness, and creativity." Hip-hop legend Busta Rhymes paid a visit to Northeast Ohio yesterday. The longtime rapper joined the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's VP for an interview as a part of their ongoing Hall of Fame series. The pair discussed his iconic career, the release of his 9th studio album last year, and the culture that influenced his style and flow.
Over-the-top, colorful clothes and me throwing my hands everywhere and throwing my feet everywhere and screaming on the mic. Like, all of that came from dance hall culture. And
During his visit, Busta got his first look at the coat and hat from his debut single, Woo Ha, Got You All in Check, that was recently added to the museum. Busta said that seeing the clothing in the museum was one of the proudest moments of his career. And Betsy, while he was here yesterday, he told us a cool story. His mentor advised him not to buy designer clothes so that he could A, save money, and 2, that there wouldn't be a chance of anyone else wearing the same outfit. So that's how all his creative outfits came to be.
Off the rack, there's nothing wrong with that, most certainly. And I can't imagine coming into a place as hallowed as the Rock Hall for a musician and seeing your own stuff there.
Right?
It's
Super
just
cool.
Like, check in the bucket list.
Super cool.
Sure.
And if people want to check out the full interview, we have a link to that up at WKYC.com.
And Marky Mark makes me feel like I'm such a slacker. I can't imagine all the work that you had to do. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Jay, I got to tell you, Karen nailed it out here with the whole Busta Rhymes. If we could all just have something here in the Rock Hall, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it would be, definitely. All right, Bets, let's now go to our Worth the Watch. This is a great story. This Amazon delivery man is a hero. That's because the customer he was delivering to wrote in the delivery instructions to leave the package in front of the garage because there was a huge spider on her porch who refused to leave, and she was just too scared to go out there. So she also asked if he would kill the spider. Guess what he did? He's taken off the shoe. He's taken off the shoe. Stephanie's clapping over here. And then he kills the spider. And then, this is the best part, after ordering another item, Gwen left a thank you note for the delivery driver. The note asked if he was single and if he had a Venmo. And I still don't know if he replied as to whether or not he was single or not, or gave her a Venmo account number. But who knows, Betsy? Maybe from the spider might come a burgeoning romance. Cool story.
I'm going to tell you what, Monique, our producer, said, there's a spider, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, how big could it be? That's a big freaking spider.
Yeah.
I don't blame her one bit for asking him to kill that.
I can imagine there would have been a lot of women that would have said, I want nothing to do with this spider. Nothing at all to do with this spider. My wife, when you say the word spider, she breaks out into a sweat. Doesn't like them at all.
Don't like them.
Okay. Coming up in the next half hour of What's New, the history of rock and roll. A look back at the genre's deep roots in Cleveland as we rediscover Ohio and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it's a look 2.5 miles into the ocean. We're getting a brand new look now at what remains of the Titanic. These pictures are pictures like we've never seen before. Wait until you see them. They're coming up in the next What's New.
Now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And we begin at 5:30 with 3 things you need to know. A rally held outside Cuyahoga County headquarters today in support of the homeless men being forced to leave a hotel in Independence. It isn't clear when the men will leave. The county paid Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries to house 150 men through the end of next month. County officials and the city of Independence are disputing that and want them gone today. More on the debate coming up at 6 on What Matters Most. We're learning more about the CMSD and Beachwood High School coach who died last night. Marzell Pink drowned while rescuing someone on vacation with his family in Myrtle Beach. He worked for Cleveland schools for almost 30 years. Most recently, he was working as the Dean of Engagement and Powerlifting coach. He was also the assistant wrestling and strength coach at Beachwood High School. Today, he would have turned 50 years old. And Kevin Love sidelined after reports say the Cavalier will not travel with Team USA to Tokyo for the upcoming Olympic Games. The reason? That calf injury just won't go away. He continues to try to recover from this injury. Love had been in Las Vegas training with Team USA for the past several weeks. And with that, we welcome you back to the second half hour of What's New. I'm Jay Crawford in our comfy confines of our 3 News studio. My co-host Betsy Kling, live from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today for our Rediscovering Ohio series. Hey, Bets.
Hey there, Jay. This is one of my favorite places, and I love to tell people, they say, what should we do? We have family coming down, we have friends coming to town. I'm like, go to the Rock Hall. There is something for everybody here. And just so happens on Thursday and Friday evenings in their summer concert series, they're having live music. So we have Sweet Apple on the stage. They are going to be coming up in just a little bit. And actually, that is our top talker tonight, rock and roll and the city of Cleveland and rock and roll history. You might not know this, but our own Mike Polk Jr. loves to write his own songs from time to time. We've featured a few of them here on What's New. And it says, so Mike, you've teamed up with John from Sweet Apple. The problem is Mike is sitting on the floor next to me. Why aren't you coming up here?
I'm happy to be here. Hi. I didn't know it was my turn. I'm an
This
idiot.
is my one chance to stand next to somebody taller. Will you
Isn't that
please?
nice?
I know. Help me out here.
Where was I for prom, right?
Totally. Believe me, I've asked myself that question a couple times. All right, anyway, you teamed up with these guys to learn a little bit more about the history of rock and roll. What did you learn?
I learned that, first of all, we are currently preventing their sound check. No doubt in my mind about that.
They can wait.
Sorry, they can wait. But I learned quite a bit, and it all happened right here around town. Take a look at it.
The Rock Hall Live Summer Concert Series is back, baby. Back inside, due to bad weather. But that happens around here, and we know how to adjust and keep on rocking. And rock we shall tonight when Sweet Apple takes the stage, a revered band comprised of heavy hitters, including Cleveland's own John Petkovich, who gave me a preview of the show and some much-needed education.
Sweet Apple, when was the last time you guys played live?
It's been years.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like a rare show.
John, being an expert in all things rock, gave me a tour of some significant spots in Cleveland rock history. Starting at 300 Prospect Avenue, former home to Rendezvous Records.
This is where in 1939 Leo Mintz opened up this record store, and this is one of the first fully integrated record stores in the area. It was a place that had both black and white. In many ways, that's kind of what rock and roll is all about, the coming together of these influences. Alan Freed came down here and he'd see these people responding to these records. He started taking the records, playing on his radio show. I mean, without this place, there's no Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
All right, let's hit the next spot.
All right, cool.
Okay, next stop, we are at 118th and Lorraine. We're at the Variety Theater. What part of musical Cleveland history is this?
This place opened in 1927, but it goes into rock lore, not just in Cleveland, but around the world, because Motorhead played a show here. They literally say, oh, they closed the place down. They literally closed the place down because they played so loud that the plaster came down from the ceiling.
That's rock.
Yeah, yeah, it was rock. It was absolute rock.
So where would Sweet Apple rather be playing? In this destroyed Motorhead theater or at the Rock Hall on Friday?
Well, it really comes down to, like, do you want to play and get drunk or do you want to play and get plastered?
Excellent wordplay. All right, John, we are now at East 55th and Central. What part of Cleveland music history am I in front of now?
Okay, so this is the Friendship Baptist Church. In 1952, Bobby Womack, at the age of 9, played in his family band called the Soul Stirrers, and they were opening up for Sam Cooke.
Let me tell you about a place somewhere up a New York way.
Sam Cooke discovered Bobby Womack right here.
Yeah, this area down Central Avenue, it was one of the main hubs. It's called Cleveland's Harlem, is what it's often known as. It is a very vibrant with clubs.
Part of the reason that we got designated as the rock and roll city is because of the success of this kind of area.
This area, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, viewers, if you're looking for a local rock history tour guide, you could do a lot worse than John. And if you're looking to actually rock tonight, he and Sweet Apple can help you out with that as well. Rain or shine.
Oh yeah, look what they even gave me this to play with here. Isn't this nice? Betsy, don't I look natural?
I'm very impressed.
Yes, so what I learned on my little walkabout and learning about Cleveland rock history, we should know more about this. These are places that I walk past all the time, and I never think to myself, oh, that's going on in there, or that Bobby Womack was discovered in there, and that's just 3 spots that I just ignore. We drive past them, we walk past them, there's so much history that I'm ignorant of.
Well, most people only associate rock and roll history in Cleveland with the Beatles at Public Auditorium.
Right,
it's like
right.
That was the pinnacle, that's it, but there's so much more.
But wouldn't you love some kind of a walking tour, or if you had remember Zoo Keys, where you can go around and hear little about the exhibits?
You can do that still.
There should be an app where you can learn history while you walk around downtown Cleveland. Take that idea, and I don't need a nickel for it.
Oh, I think the Rock Hall should take advantage of that idea most certainly. Jay, that sounds like something that we could participate in somehow. I'd love to do that sometime.
I don't move past this fret. This is too tricky down here. That's not my business.
It looks legit. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. You only need these 3 chords, you know?
Do it like Milli Vanilli. Let somebody else sing it.
It works perfect. Work for them. They won a Grammy.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Betsy, here's a cool story I know you're going to love. New images of the Titanic to show you tonight. From a new expedition, you can see stained glass windows in some of these pictures. Plus, there's just remnants of a floor. There's tons of other debris that researchers are really working hard at to try to figure out exactly what all these pieces are. The team is capturing all of these images using a state-of-the-art technology to create a 3D image of the wreckage, 4K pictures, the whole thing. Betsy, it's super cool. I've always been fascinated about the Titanic and current images that we can pull out from the bottom of the ocean, and I'm sure a lot of others are too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, as soon as that movie Titanic came out and everybody started to kind of imagine the glamour and the glitz that really was the Titanic, and they put it in the darn movie, it kind of took away from the actual history of it a little bit. But anyway, Hollywood does its thing, but a lot of people are paying attention to this for sure. Well, I'll tell you what, Jay, moving forward in the show, they're back. Live music in the CLE. We are so excited, and that goes for concerts here at the Rock Hall with their summer concert series. We're going to tell you what's planned this summer as we rediscover Ohio. And a burger, fries, and a side of gratitude. How one location of a Northeast Ohio staple is thanking first responders. Also, still rumbling. I can see peaks of blue here in downtown Cleveland, but farther south, it's a different story, Matt.
Hey, Betsy, we cover a large area, right? So downtown Cleveland, we're dry at the moment, but you head south, especially south of the Turnpike, we are allowed. We got several showers and thunderstorms continue to push into Tuscarawas County, eventually Carroll County as well. One piece of good news, the wind threat headed towards Canton has died off a little bit, but a new one has developed closer to New Philadelphia. We'll track those wind threats for you coming up.
Our summer concert series, right? We do it outdoors at the lakefront. In Betsy, in WKYC, they are our weather experts. They let us know if we can go or not go, and it's been incredible. They're batting 1,000, and we're so grateful.
I hate to tell Greg, but quite honestly, a lot of that is just plain old luck. And their flexibility, too, at the same thing. I'll tell you, it is not easy to do point-specific forecasting. We do it for the Indians. We do it for the Rock Hall, occasional other events going on in Cleveland. And on nights like this, there's so much potential for rain at any one point, at any one time, that you kind of hold your breath to wait to see what happens. So far, we're dry downtown, but boy, it is getting soaked farther south.
Oh, yeah. So, Betsy, some of us are getting, dry conditions like you in downtown. We've been great at the Rock Hall, but it's farther south towards Canton, so south of Akron. That's where we get most of the action this evening. However, some of you guys in downtown are not out of the clear, right? We have more showers and thunderstorms towards western Ohio. So at the moment, most of the activity is in Stark County, Tuscarawas County, moving into Carroll County, and then eventually east towards Youngstown as well. But when you look west, we still have more action towards western Ohio. We've got a good cell coming in just south of Toledo. You look closer to Dayton, some of these cells continue to track north and east. So even if you're dry right now downtown towards Medina, Rocky River, Chagrin Falls, just wait. More activities on the way. Right now, the heaviest activity, the strongest activity is towards our south. We'll zoom in a little bit more. You see that orange box that still shows you that existing severe thunderstorm warning, now just including Tuscarawas County. But these storms are headed right towards Carroll County. Right now, most of us are dry in Carroll County. That'll change very quickly. Canton, we have heavy downpours in and around the area, and all these are headed towards the east, eventually towards Pennsylvania. But right now, for example, Rock Hall, right? We actually have some peaks of some blue skies at times, but that'll change. Notice more cells towards our west. Right now, the island, Sandusky, we're starting to get some more of those showers too. But the biggest impact right now at this moment, 5:43, we have gusty winds just on the south side of New Philadelphia. Also notice there's a decent amount of lightning. One trend, though, the lightning has gone down a little bit. That shows some weakening, but it's still intense and still a severe storm. You can see some of those gusty winds just south of town, just south of New Philadelphia, headed north and east. But with this rain, a lot of us are trying to pick up another 1 to 3 inches. We don't need it. That's why we have a flash flood watch in effect until tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, because we have more of those rounds towards the west. Overall, this evening, I do think the heaviest stuff falls from Cleveland south. We have that slight lower chance, 60% towards Sandusky, but right now we're still getting some of those showers and thunderstorms. But I do think the heaviest will be towards the south, and one reason why is the temperatures have been a little bit warmer towards the south. Now the storms are coming into Dover and Carrollton and Canton. We were in the 80s just about an hour ago, so the rain's starting to cool us down. But rain chances continue this weekend too. So big weekend, right? We're trying to plan out when you can maybe be outside. Saturday, the morning, middle part of the day, showers and thunderstorms still in the forecast. However, there are some signs that we may try to dry out for the second half of the day. Still maybe some lingering stuff going on. By Sunday, I think most of us should be dry. There is a chance for a sprinkle before sunrise, but otherwise Sunday looks to be the better day of the two. Here's your National Zymar hour-by-hour forecast. Notice we still get those rains and those rumbles for the rest of the evening. Eventually a front will start to swing through, but it doesn't do it until tomorrow afternoon. So until tomorrow afternoon, watch out for these scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then that north wind picks up. Tomorrow's going to be kind of a cool day, especially in the afternoon. Even though we may get some sun, we'll probably stick in the 70s overall for us. I want to show you your Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook. 70s for the rest of the weekend. But Jay, looking towards next week, I think things will be a little bit drier. We do have some rain chances, but I think we'll also get some breaks. And Jay, we need some breaks because those downpours just keep coming.
You know, we really do. We've all heard from feast to famine, feast or famine. It's like drought or flood. 100%. That's what it's been like here. Crazy. Okay, Matt, thank you very much. Time right now to see what's clicking in Cleveland. And for that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Stephanie, a very happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, Jay. Happy Friday, everyone at home. It was a happy Thursday yesterday down in Akron, where the kid from Akron, LeBron James, surprised people within the LeBron James Family Foundation with a special message ahead of an early premiere of Space Jam 2, A New Legacy. Check this out. We don't have the sound from it, but we did see him with a special message at the beginning of that show, and it was one of the very first showings. He said he wished he could be there in person, but he did get some free popcorn for everybody there. That was pretty cool. That message from King James and all of that. The new Space Jam movie is out in theaters and on HBO Max today. Now, you know LeBron James loves his Swensons. The new location in Willoughby gave back today. They served free lunches to first responders, military members, and veterans this afternoon. This is all leading up to its grand opening on Monday. Now, you can get your Galley Boy, or if you're like LeBron, your double cheeseburger, onion rings, and banana milkshake, starting next week in Willoughby, open every day at 11 a.m. Okay, from customer appreciation to employee appreciation, Josh Elkert, the owner of Heavenly Pizzeria in Findlay, gave a full day of profits to his workers on Monday. Here's why he did it.
You can have the best pizza in the world. If you have no one here to make it, it doesn't matter. I haven't experienced anything like this before. It's a big gift.
That was Timmy Lemire, and he has worked at the pizzeria since he was 15 years old, so for 5 years now. Now, the pizzeria brought in $6,000 that day and another $1,000 in tips. Now, Jay, I know you're a numbers guy, so you'll appreciate this. That averaged out to $78 per hour for those workers that day.
That's pretty good.
That's a good paycheck for a day.
That is a very good paycheck. Very nice. All right.
And the customers got in on it too. They doubled the orders that day. 100. They went from 100 orders that day to 220 because they knew that they were doing that and giving the money to the employees.
Man, it's amazing how Northeast Ohioans are always quick to respond to a good cause. And there it is. Steph, thanks. Have a great weekend.
You too.
See you soon. Rocking Out, the Rock Hall is back, and so is its summer concert series. We're going to talk with the organizer about how they handpicked each performer and what it'll take to get in as our Rediscovering Ohio series continues.
Welcome back, everybody, to What's New and our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in our Rediscovering Ohio series. You know, a lot of folks have been to the Rock Hall already, but they constantly are updating and making it new and making it fresh, and there's still new things to see. And one of the ways that they love to get people back to the Rock Hall is live music, because that is, of course, the foundation of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is the music. And John Gerke joins me now. He is the Director of Fan Engagement. Betsy, what a cool title you have.
It's a good title. It's an even better gig.
That's for sure. So.
Speaking of gigs, live music, Sweet Apple joining us tonight.
Yeah, we got sound check going on right now. Tickets still available tonight.
Okay, you have to get tickets?
You have to get tickets,
okay.
Yep. It's part of our Rock Hall Live summer concert series powered by our great friends at PNC. And there's all summer long. You can check out rockhall.com, but every Thursday, free shows at the Rock Hall celebrating live local talent.
Now, local, how do you pick the music? How do you pick the acts?
So, we have a great team that, there's applications that come in, but honestly, our team is so tapped into the local scene. And we just pick the best ones, but also diversity is important for us. The diversity of sound, diversity of style. So you'll see that reflected in this summer's lineup.
And you have the lineup posted at the Rock Hall's website.
Rockhall.com, awesome. You'll see them all.
And that's where you can get tickets?
Yeah, and Thursdays are free.
Okay.
Fridays have a charge, but these are national touring acts. Tonight, this is an indie pop super group,
I love
Sweet
indie
Apple.
pop. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we got Cloud Nothings, Cleveland's Own, coming up in a few weeks. A lot of great shows.
Let's talk about the COVID protocols.
Yeah.
Obviously, things have opened up. We're not masked. We're fully vaccinated. Yep. What are the COVID protocols now?
Yeah, we've been paying, as we've been doing, honestly, since March of 2020, paying very close attention and really following the CDC, the state guidelines. We're very proud of, all of the protocols that we put in place. But like a lot of places, we've loosened those in accordance with those guidelines loosening. You'll see hand sanitizer everywhere. Sure. There's really strict cleaning regimens. We still have time ticketing, which helps us sort of manage the flow of visitors into the museum. And we're going to keep an eye on it. We'll keep paying attention to it, and we'll adjust as we need to.
Absolutely. All right, talk Resident Rocker program. What is that all about?
Resident Rockers, that's our artist in resident program. We have great sponsorship from the Coolest Foundation, and essentially we've targeted emerging local artists.
Oh, I like that.
And this is a summer-long residency where they get to work on their entire craft, songwriting, promotion, recording. They're playing, in fact, they just finished right now, they're playing live music on the plaza all summer long while they learn some of the inside, tips and just sort of, advice about how to navigate the industry.
It is a business. It's not just the art. You got to know the business side too.
It is a business, but we have 3 incredible musicians, and you can see all of their schedule on rockhall.com as well. But we're just so proud of the program and just really glad. This is the second year. Yeah. And if there's any artists and resident hopefuls out there, you can apply at rockhall.com as well.
Well, the rockhall.com website, the heart of rock and roll, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, most certainly. Jay, I know you want to get out here, and we'll get you out here pretty soon. Maybe we can get you a guitar and let you learn how to play it and all that stuff, and then you can someday be the resident rocker.
Yeah, the last thing the world needs is a guitar in my hands, I can assure you of that. Well, coming up, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. How 2 sisters are making sure their sibling's memory lives on after she passed away while awaiting a heart transplant. week of What's New with our Show Us Something Good. This story comes to us from Salt Lake City, Utah. Two sisters there, Miley and Michaela Madsen, purchased a lemonade stand, and they did it with their very own money.
Okay, so they wanted to raise money for an organ donation awareness program, and that would be in memory of their sister Mackenzie, who died waiting for her second heart transplant. City Council there got wind of what they were trying to do and stepped in to donate $1,500, bringing the girls' grand total for their lemonade stand to $14,000, all for organ donation awareness. They are absolutely incredible little girls, and what a wonderful, wonderful way to honor their sister.
Well, Mackenzie would be very proud. Pretty good work for a lemonade stand, $14,000. Well, that's going to do it for our time with you for today's edition of What's New, but you know the drill. We're back Monday at 5. We hope to see you then. Have a great weekend.
In the meantime, what matters most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now at 6, flash flood watch. After a few days of rain and more on the way, all lines are on potential